Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Dugout Football Channel. A very frustrating day as Liverpool lose for the first time in 55 years to Nottingham Forest at Anfield. And fair play to Nottingham Forest, you've got to say. We will go and digress everything that's happened today. And I'm being joined by a very special guest. And as you can see as well, I am not in my usual surroundings. I'm actually in Liverpool. I am with Mr. Jack Mack LFC. So thank you very much for his company. But joining me is Mr. Kev from Spider LFC. How are you, Kev?
How's it going, lad? You all right? Disappointing day all round. But I don't know what to say about that. We were the better side throughout. That's a good thing to take away from it. Usually, I don't know what it is with these. It doesn't matter if it's 12:30 after an international break or not. It's just supposed to show you that these lads kind of work their bums off no matter where they go. McAllister worked hard, looked kind of tired near the end of it. Szoboszlai's passing was way off today for me. It was way off. I said it was the wrong mistake to take McAllister, regardless of him being tired off. He needed to stay on the pitch because we just left a circular gap right in the middle of the pitch where they just tended to take advantage of him within 9 minutes of him going off. You know, we were down 1-0. So I'll tell you.
And we have been joined. Hello, Jack.
Hi, lad.
How you doing?
Is my audio okay?
Yeah, audio is absolutely fine. I can hear you loud and clear. Clear. Now, first things first, I've got to say, fantastic result for Nottingham Forest. A lot of people have said this season they've been a team that have been sort of on the periphery of potentially going down, but I saw a lot today that kind of said to me, if they go down, it'd be a very, very, very disappointment. Jack, I mean, you obviously did the watch alone earlier. What did you make of Nottingham Forest today?
Really played really well, mate. I think you can only play as well as you have. You play like that for the rest of the season, I think they'll be sound, easy mid-table. But I think when you play at that high level, high quality, we know how it is. Liverpool, City, Arsenal, teams that come up against us in the league, that their levels and expectations go through the roof and obviously try so much more harder. But I think we set up resolutely, really. We just literally limited to 5 shots on target. It's not good enough, really. But even the shots that we did have today, I don't think there was anything apart from the Diaz possible shot off the post. There was no chances really created. So I think for 2 banks of 4, 2 banks of 5, really, whatever it was for Forest, they were absolutely exceptional to every man on that pitch, really. And especially the back end of that game, it's throwing every last tackle, every last block as well. But from their perspective, who's a Forest fan, congratulations, fully deserved the 3 points. I don't think Liverpool, off the back of today's performance, deserved anything.
No, I don't think you can begrudge them of any win today. I think they were excellent. And actually, if you look at the way that they played as well, the game plan, they executed to perfection. And you've got to say, Kev, it was quite a worthy goal of winning any game of football.
Yeah. Look, there's a reason why Bayern Munich and the likes of them were after this guy a while back. I still think like he offers more to maybe a club like Aston Villa or a club like these, or maybe not the top tier clubs, but not trying to say anything bad about Forest. They've got a great history, but I'm talking about it in the current climate, who would be considered up there just outside the top 4 to 6. He would get into any one of those teams, I think. Look, just goes to show you when you start playing a fella that he can actually show the talent that he has. But Ibu kind of gifted it to him in that game. He didn't step out quick enough, neither did Bradley. But in saying that, Ibu you never turn to your side as a defender because you just show him how to bend the ball around you, and he did. And Ali had no chance of getting near that. No matter, even if it looked like he was turning, he didn't see it until late, and he wasn't getting to it. So he was hoping it was going up, but it was so tight. It hit the post and went in. He couldn't have hit it any sweeter. It was a great goal.
Yeah, it was. was as well. Let's get in some of your comments because I have seen there's a few of you in here. Roll me one Kenobi. Hello, hope you're well. Another Chelsea player moves away from Stamford Bridge star to Cook. Yeah, like Hudson Odoi. I've been a big fan of his for a number of years, and you've got to say it's a fantastic winning goal as well. True Red, good evening, mate. First of all, congratulations. Thoroughly deserved today. I thought your fans were absolutely superb. Not one real bad chant I didn't hear at all as well. So no, fair play to Nottingham Forest, and yeah, look, you enjoy your evening because I think you will. That's now you guys got 10 points, I think, out of the last out of 7. So it's a very, very good run for you guys at the moment. That dude on Cop TV really jinked him when he said Liverpool was going to go unbeaten this season. I mean, look,
Who said that?
I have no idea.
Who's stupid enough to say something like that?
Who said that? Yeah.
I don't.
Have you never said something like that, have you?
No, I said, yeah, we're going to win trophies or whatever. We're going to go unbeaten for the entire season. You don't say that.
You don't.
No, quickly there, Doug, as well, though. I don't know how you lads feel. Like, obviously, 1969, last time Forest beat Liverpool at Anfield. It's a very long time. Certainly, YouTube and social media wasn't around back then anyway. But yeah, I don't like this notion that as soon as Liverpool lose a game of football, it's almost like sections of our fan base have been very much waiting for this result to go wrong for Liverpool, and then go. It's like, oh, we've been beaten. It's disappointing, mate. I said on my pre-match show going into this game that there will be bumps along the road. Today would be a massive learning curve, and it will be. I think we've not really learned a lot of this squad in terms of picking up 9 points along the way, but like in our life, if you don't make mistakes, you don't learn from them really. And I think in terms of today's performance, we've learned so much from this squad, especially Arnie Schott as well. Obviously, similar names in the squad that certain fans don't really like the look of in terms of people having a go at Curtis Jones. What's Curtis Jones meant to do with 10 minutes left to go, 20 minutes left to go? It's like, come on, like, I get you don't like the player, but Curtis Jones wasn't a be-all and end-all.
Just looking for a scapegoat.
Yeah, looking for a scapegoat, but it's only one of them.
I thought mainly was done. I think poor passing from Szoboszlai today, a little stone big time.
Yeah.
I think he got into good positions for picking up the ball, but I thought his passing was awful. I think maybe 8 out of 10 passes never got their man, and it was and I noticed I was screaming about it. Understanding, like, Szoboszlai, you're a great player, whatever that, but he just looks like he's tired all the time. He can run into positions, but looks like he's tired or second guesses himself when he gets into. Sometimes he can have worldly games, and sometimes he doesn't. I mean, we've down through the years, we've always had players that are like him. You know, your Luis Garcias, they could have 5 brilliant games and then 10 awful games. You know, and it's just that kind of way. You know, but no, him today. Ibu was winning everything in the air. In fairness, you know, even before that mistake, he was great. Yeah, he was aggressive, like Slot wanted him to be. And I just thought, you know, I think there's no point in trying Trent in the midfield if you're going to have Szoboszlai next to him rather than McAllister and get Ravenberg, because you bring on Jones, who's a forward thinking player, and you bring on Trent. The first thing Trent did when he moved into the midfield was he was inside in the box. There was nobody in the midfield. It was completely open. He just thought, I'm in midfield, no, I can go forward. That's it. Because McMacken would have stayed back, and then you probably would have seen a bit more balance. But it was a full circle where it was just no midfielders in there.
I was going to say, Kevin and Doug as well, don't you, lads, feel in chat. I would, when Jimmy watched on his head, I thought Trent was coming off. I said, this is ballsy from Arnie Schott. I was like, waiting until you see Trent's reaction to coming off. But as you said there, Kevin, he's spot on. I think there was too much congestion at the top end of the pitch, and there was nothing in the middle. And like, it done my head, and we all love Trent for the great balls he does provide. But today, as I said on my little show today after the game, the constant spamming of balls into the box or diags, it doesn't work all the time. Like, it's this constant, and I think Arne Slot spoke about it in the pre-season as well, this notion of the team, they're still playing like Jurgen Klopp in certain elements. And I think today showed exactly a style of what Jurgen Klopp at the back end of the last 2 years of just a constant rush Ancelotti's football, yes, it's calm, composed, keep on the ball, but Ancelotti's football is about keeping hold of the ball and yes, play the long ball when it's on, but not when it's on where we're just spamming in balls for the sake of spamming in balls when the balls even weren't there.
Just ask you something, lads, because just to stay on the Szoboszlai topic there for a second. How many times in how many games is Salah going to lay a ball across the Szoboszlai and he doesn't take a shot? Or he just laid it right on a plate for him. All he do is whip it, like the old Steven Gerrard, like the old Henderson could whip one of those balls. How many times is he going to do it where he just sits there or he stands back and he didn't do it? It was a number of times today where Salah is he's edging for whoever his right midfielder is at the time to just line up and take a shot. Once Gravenberch got in position, but he was closed down fast, but he was trying to take a shot. A couple of times Szoboszlai just kind of let it run away from him, and then the passes were too short or something like that. I just thought, out of everybody today, he probably had the worst performance. So yeah, that's what I want to say. How many times you're going to get a shot at the edge of the box and not take it?
Yeah. Oh, is my mic making a weird noise?
It's going burp, burp, burp.
It's like a frog.
That's like. But I think it could be that either your mic is going through the speaker or something else. You can change it around. I think in the set, it should be grand, anyway.
Doug should have told me to shut up, lads, and mute me.
But no, I've got
Jack's gone full devil.
I've got to say, full credit to Nottingham Forest. They had a game plan executed to perfection, and as well, I've got to say, I was very impressed by Aina and Moreno today. I think the fullbacks for them were very, very good, and I think Moreno against Salah had a very, very good day. I think Aina against Diaz had a very, very good day, and I think it was kind of the wrong decision, Kev, to sort of replace Diaz because I felt he was more of a threat at Forest than Mo was.
I get that there's a routine that you're going to want to do where you're going to bring off Diaz, or sometimes you're going to bring off Trent or whatever to give what's his name more time. I think Slot does want to convert Trent into a midfielder, going by the way he was moving around today. I just think he took off the wrong midfielder to do that. Yeah. Like for me, Trent should have replaced Henderson a long time ago. Not because a midfield player, just because of playing his inverted role. He can play a bit of a deeper lying midfielder next to Gravenberch, or just slightly ahead, and then develop his game along there, but not at the cost of not bringing in another midfielder in that position, which is what we did in Szoboszlai. So I think he could easily challenge Szoboszlai on that side, or as we say later in the game, bring on Bradley, take off Szoboszlai, move Trent slightly forward, and still have him as an outlet on that right hand side. But don't send him into the midfield and think he's going to run up to the edge of the box and play like a number 10, because that's not what his job is to do. But the minute McAllister went off and all of that, Jones coming out to cover, it didn't work for me. Jones seemed like he was put into a scapegoat position, as I would say, just to kind of, he's not going to track back enough here compared to Trent. Does try to get back at least, but he's not going to. So yeah, for me, it was a big no kind of doing it. That he should have been on that right hand side, Trent, rather than being pushed over into Macca's position. Macca should have stayed on the pitch, 100%, and so should have Diaz.
Yeah, absolutely. Chris says, good evening, Chris. Hope you're well. I've seen that Carlisle lost again, so hopefully you're all right. A few top players are bad today. Forest had the plan which they executed. We were flat today. Yeah, we were. Slot didn't mess around with the subs. Good to see, but Rome players who took off. Yeah, absolutely. I think I said at the time I was surprised Diaz came off. I think he was more of an outlet than Mo was, and actually Mo was really frustrating today. I don't know if you got that about Kev, but I think he was just so. When he got to the byline, he was trying to sort of play the perfect pass almost to the Szoboszlai, and then to Ryan Gravenberch, and then it just doesn't. It just doesn't.
I think he made him second guess himself, because he tried to link up with Jota a few times and it wasn't working. But then he played one brilliant ball on the outside of the foot where Jota nearly got a goal from it at the header. And then I thought he was going to take on from there, but then it was soon after that we started making the substitution. He wasn't seeing enough of the ball. It was all long range passing, and the one thing that Forest did really well today was the delayed interception. So when they knew that Liverpool were going to go for the long ball, Aina and Moreno were just stepping in and intercepting before the ball was just about to get to the player. So they were making the Liverpool players, or Van Dijk or whoever was going to crossfield it, Trent, think that they could play it as low as they wanted to with that space. But the minute they were going to kick it, they were running into that space and corner. So they did that really well. But that was down to how they played with their fullbacks. And that was the key for them today. I thought Yates, who I rate as a player, actually was a bit of a bulldog in the midfield. And they needed to be that, but he was really at McAllister. Like he was out to hurt McAllister a few times today, which is not nice to see in a game, but it's nice to see old school style football like that. I said when I seen him early days in the last couple of seasons, I would have liked him to come in that kind of like what Martin position is now, because Martin wasn't ready at the time. But I said Yates would be a bullish player to come in after Fabinho and learn the trade that way, you know. So he's a handy player.
Yeah, absolutely. I've missed a comment. I'm not going to be ranting. I was expecting us to have one of these. Yeah, look, we're going to have bumps in the roads, aren't we? We're going to have bumps in the roads. We're simply a really new team under Arne Slot at the moment, and it is going to take time. It is going to take time. So, look, I'm not going to get too over my head about losing today, because these things happen, and I think they will happen. They will happen. Romeo and Kenobi, could be worse. You guys could be an Everton supporter, built a 2-0 lead again, right? I'll be honest, when I was in the pub earlier, I had a few drinks, so feel free to say if I'm slurring or anything. I said, and I quote, I bet you Everton lose 3-2. I heard a lot of people say that. I actually said in the pub, and I was with Mick Moran by the time. I said if Everton go in the 2-0 lead half time or 2-1, they will lose 3-2. And look, the winning goal by Duran is an absolute beauty.
I didn't even see the game. I didn't even know what the score was.
Yeah,
so this is a nice surprise.
Basically, Everton were 2-0 up. McNeil and Calvert-Lewin. And then it was Ollie Watkins got one back, and then he got the other one. And then John Duran. Yeah. Wait for match of the day. Let me just say that. Wait for match of the day.
I'll be gigging in the middle of that at that moment. That I'll be on the stage singing songs as match of the day is kicking off. Match of the day kicks off, was at 25 past 10? Yeah. I'll be on 25 to 11. I'll already be 5 minutes into my set. But anyway, look, isn't it nice of Everton though to stay opposite of Liverpool all the time? You know, when the Liverpool team of the day used to just have to outscore players when Salah first came to the club and got his 40 goals, we had to outscore teams because it was always like 4-3s or 3-2s or whatever. Isn't it nice though for Everton to like go up first and then like lose afterwards by 3-2s or 4-3s or whatever? So they seem to be scoring a lot early and then just like huffing and puffing out. I don't know. I think I'll swap play. I think Forest stay up and Everton go down this season. It wouldn't surprise me at all.
Honestly, the way Forest played today, I can't see them being in a relegation battle.
No, they're good.
They've got Chris Woods, Alanga, Hudson Odoi. That is a really good front three. And then obviously you had the lad Jota come on the day. Silva, yeah. You've got Taiwo Wonyi to come back as well. They should be all right. They should be all right. And Milenkovic as well. I thought he had a very good game today as well.
I'm not going to say that. And I said that Forest deserved a win and all of that, but Liverpool were by far the better team for the majority of the game.
Oh, yeah.
By far. Like we chance after chance after chance there at one point. We just couldn't put it away. No. And it's just one of those days where you're in front of goal and the shots don't come off, or you can't create the space because of how well another team is defending, but like that, in saying that, like we were all over them. That first half, they had no shots, no touches inside the opposition box, nothing. And then we change our tactics in the 60-odd minute, bring off our midfielders, we open up, and they score a goal. I mean, it's just a sign of just making a bad decision on Slot's part, to be honest with you. He should have, as I said, he should have kept McAllister on and taken Szoboszlai off, and we wouldn't be having this conversation, I think.
Chris says fourth for the Champions League. Well, they are fourth at the moment, so fair play to Nottingham Forest. They've had a very good start and totally deserve it. Hello, Adam. Thank you very much for tuning in. I know that you did say on the show, I think it was last yesterday, I think it was, that you want me on. Just give me a message on the DMs. I'll be happy to come on. But good to see you in the chat. By the way, guys, if there's anyone new here, please do hit that subscribe button. I am, I think, 12 away from 3K. So I'm very close.
Here I am 2 away from only 600. That's on YouTube. I'm only kind of new on YouTube the last couple of years, so I don't know.
Nice.
Wouldn't mind that.
And then Adam says, poor performance today goes without saying. performance. It was done better this season so far under Nuno. I'm getting Wolves 2019 vibes. Look, you've got to say, Nuno. A lot of people actually had him to be first manager to be sacked, Kev. A lot of people had him to be first manager to be sacked, but you've got to say, fair play to him.
I think when he gets the right type of players, that's the problem. I said that to Jack as well about during the week about Nuno. I said if he's the right type of players for his style, he's a very samey manager, which is probably why it doesn't work with him at bigger clubs, because at least in the smaller clubs, he can bring in his type of player cheaper. Yeah. You know, at a cheaper, you can't find the higher quality, even if you bring them up from that club. Sometimes they don't work out. So it's the higher caliber players trying to do what he asks. They're not going to do it, because a lot of the higher caliber players are flair players, and it's very, very rare most of them will work as hard as what, you know, the average player would do. You know, so Nuno needs his wing backs to work really, really hard. He needs his midfielders to tuck in and keep that 5-4 bank. You know, and some players who are of a higher nature or higher stature like strolling back, not walking back, because, you know, they're used to being the dominant players on the side or against lower opposition. But I mean, or even against higher opposition, they put their hands like your even Son. Sometimes he doesn't track back, like Bruno Fernandes. Sometimes he wouldn't track back. You know, work with these type of players, it just doesn't work for a fella like Nuno. He needs grafters.
Yeah, absolutely as well. Was annoying this defeat. It was at home. If it was away, then more understandable. If any, we move on. Yeah, absolutely, we move on. We've got Milan on Tuesday to look forward to. As well. Nuno finally playing the style did at Wolves. Yes, I would agree with that. I think we're to a T today. I think they were very, very good on the break, on the sort of the counter. I think the change of Alanga definitely changed the game, because I think we took Robertson off at that point, and obviously Simicast came on. But fantastic ball.
Yeah, it was a great ball, but I don't think that ball gets there if we both had McAllister and Gravenberch on the pitch at the same time. Because Gravenberch was watching the middle lead, and McAllister would have gone over to him before he even got the ball. He would have been annoying him, and I think Robertson would have been kind of hanging there. But Simicast was tracking back, playing a back three at this day. I don't understand. This is the first time I'm going to kind of question Slot what he was thinking with it. Maybe just going for it, fair enough. If he wanted to go for it, that's fair enough. But if that was like a tactical decision to put three at the back when you're bringing on Bradley and Simicast and then putting them in a 3-man backline and taking off Kanate, that's a bit weird for me. So we'll see how that works out in future. I don't think we're going to see that in the near future again, because that left us wide open, pretty much for that area. So
yeah. Luke says Nuno with his style works. Unfortunately, Cooper's didn't. He brought in so fanatic players over the summer in the transfer window. I think you had a very good window, to be honest. Some of the players you got in, Milenkovic, as I said, I think he's a very, very good defender. And I think you've bought well. You have bought well. Romeo and Kenobi, when Diaz picked up the ball on the byline. Diaz is bad. Diaz picked up the ball on the byline and cut in. He should have laid it off. And you make it. Yeah, he could have, but look, I think he was our most dangerous forward today. I think it's safe to say that he was our most dangerous forward. There was one moment as well. I was sitting right at the upper Kenny by the at the Anfield Road goal.
Okay.
The amount of sort of eagerness to win the ball, especially to stop that ball going out of play. I mean, obviously I think it was Aina at that point. I guess that's the only real mistake he did today. Was literally allow Diaz to get by him, and then obviously he hit the post as well. So I think it just goes to show that they had a very, very good game plan. But anyway, let me just get the stats up, because I did see there was some stats there. So we had 14 shots, which doesn't really surprise me to say the very least. 5 shots on target though. I can't really remember 5 shots on target, Kev.
Yeah, there was a few. That's what I'm saying. Like we were fairly dominant. Obviously, it's the and thinking of that as well, the Diaz chance didn't even count as a shot on target because it hit the post. It has to go between the sticks. So there was a few shots on target. There was Gravenberch had one. I know McAllister had one with the header. That's when it's over. Jota had the header with the shot on target. We had Virgil van Dijk. Van Dijk, the header. So there was a few that were there. Salah had a couple of shots on target. So, there was shots on target. It just wasn't very penetrable in saying that. So, but look, I said it like 20 minutes in. I'm like, look, we're playing really, really well. But this just feels like a post-international window performance where it just catches up with us. And I was saying it on the stream. And I was kind of going, I hope it doesn't, because I'm like a very positive guy when it comes to Liverpool. And I know this team is playing well, but it just seemed lethargic in the way. And it just every time then Sebastian was getting on the ball and he wasn't making the passes, I was like, it's going to be one of those days. I said, I hope Arne Slot does a Kwanzaa and pulls him off at halftime or does something, because as good as he's getting into position and taking up, and some of his open passes were just like he had time in the ball to pass. That's when he was at his kind of worst. The passes were just awful. So look, it's just one of those days, I think.
Yes.
And we'll look back at this by the end of the season and say, that could have been a nasty result leading us down a bad path, but hopefully we'll forget about it by Christmas.
Yeah, absolutely. Forest had 5 shots, 3 on target. Again, obviously, apart from the goal, I can't really remember. Oh, Alanga had one where he ballooned it over the bar, where he could have done a lot better. But it's just one of those days, and not many teams are going to come to Anfield and win with 31% possession either.
Yeah, it's not going to happen. Yeah, not too often. But if it is, it's going to be a big team that it happens to, because normally you don't see the battlers that are on the same kind of level making these kind of mistakes, really, or having these kind of games where they have most of possession and then lose. Teams like this, they come with the low block against Liverpool, against your cities, and then they just hope that they can just hold us at bay and then nick a win. And that's their job. That's what they're meant to do. So it just happened to us today. But the good thing is that it doesn't happen to us too often, and it's very, very rare that it does happen to us, especially at home. A lot of other teams that are of a bigger stature do this a lot more often than we do. Yeah. So way more often, I should say.
I think the one thing that really annoyed me today, and I'm not gonna throw this in as an excuse, obviously us losing. Michael Oliver, I did not think he had a good day today.
No, he didn't. And why was he getting into a battle with Trent? Because Trent was telling him the obvious, and his ego took over a bit today as a referee, and it showed on the pitch a small bit. So I usually rate Oliver and all of that, but he was very. I used the word woke in his whistleblowing today. The slightest little touches, whatever like that. He was leaving things play on. It's like Salah was being manhandled. Salah usually backs into a guy and then tries to turn him. And the only way that they can stop Salah from doing that is by putting their arms around him and holding him. So the fact that your man did that, and then Salah, when he did that and pulled him to the floor, and then Oliver just said play on, and then like no more than 10, not even 8 seconds later, Trent, was given a foul for something that was even less than what just happened to Salah. So that's where him and Trent lost the kind of rag with each other. He's just like, look what just happened to Salah, and were you not paying attention? Is the word you can see what he says? You're not paying attention. So look, referees can have 4 games as well in the off time, but we see.
Yeah, 4 yellow cards to a team. Force had 5 offsides, which was quite interesting. But look, we're still second. We're still second in the league, and obviously, Aston Villa winning today. Bournemouth Chelsea is going on. I'm not so sure what the score is in that game, but I fully expect that one to be a pretty good. A pretty good game. And obviously Man United won 3-0 against Southampton today. Brighton dropped their first points of this, second points of the season with a 0-0 draw with Ipswich. And actually good to see Ipswich get on the mark as well. But today's another day, Kev. It's just one of those ones where you just
it's a tough one to take, because they are going to be kind of down around the relegation battling positions, but we assumed that before we were playing them today, but then we've seen them play today. But in saying that, we completely and utterly dominated that first half without doing much of anything, and we still had the domination of most of the second half until the substitutions, and then they had that good 12 to 15 minute spell where because of our changes, and that's when they kind of took over. That's when they had the most chances, and then did maybe 1 or 2 after that. But we were kind of like pinning them back a bit near the end, from back again from the 80th minute onwards. This all kind of happened around the 65th minute to the 80th minute. and that's the danger. That's the danger area there to let goals in. So, look, we still. I don't ask me about the time added on at the end as well, because McAllister was down twice injured. Loads like there was 5 substitutes each, right? And there was 5 minutes added on.
Yeah,
I don't understand that. So I thought it would have been at least 8.
I said to one of my friends after the game, I was amazed there weren't 7, 8, or 9 minutes added on. As you say, 5 subs each. They took about sort of 1-2 minutes each, and then it was like just it's meant
to be 30 seconds per sub, just right on money on the paper, right? Yeah. So they say even regardless if it takes a minute, the referee stops his watch, he adds 30 seconds to each time. So he just goes like that, plus 30, plus 30, So and then you had the time when McAllister was down, getting a bit of a look at twice or something from the stamp on the foot from Yates and the elbow, and the one where Robertson was down for a bit, and that was supposedly first half anyway. But the second half as well, when they were down for a bit. So I don't see where that time came from. That's time went to, I should say.
Yeah. Luke says, tells everything when Mo Salah hardly gets a chance, shows how well they... Yeah, look, you defended very, very well.
That was the best part about Forest's game today, was the defence.
Yeah, definitely. Even though your keeper was riling me up very, very well. Taking his time over goal kicks, but like you did what you have to do. Haha, had to shoot, lads. Those headphones are awful. Apologies about the audio.
Ribbit.
Ribbit. Nah, don't worry, Jack. No, I've enjoyed your company. Oh, there. Look.
I get binned anyway. They're in the bin.
You should just use. I think he's using the speakers in the ear. He should have just used the phone speaker. It would have been much better and clearer.
Yeah. Hello, Brian. Hey, Douglas. Cheers for cursing us in a run. Yeah. Look, I've only seen us lose, I think maybe twice.
So... that's more. That's too much. The band, Doug. That's just too much.
I'm actually back for the Fulham game in December, so yeah.
I know. I seen us lose against United when Giggs got 2 goals against us. Way back when. I think it was 90 something like
that. I've seen us lose to Blackpool in the Hodgson days.
Okay.
So that was
We'll leave you off at that one. Okay, we'll leave you off at that one. That's the Hodgson days.
Not as bad as today. Not as bad as today. Let me just say, cheers for cursing. It is what it is. We get one of those days. It's one of those days. Anyway, Puskas yes, I would agree with that. It was a fantastic strike. One worthy of winning any game of football as well. Liverpool got forward, then started to play sideways, backward, etc. I think you'll recover. Yeah, look, I'm not going to get carried away by this defeat. It can happen. Strange things can happen. I mean,
this usually wakes the beast in Liverpool. Even though we played well at the start of the season, this usually kind of angers us a bit for the next few weeks. So yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Brian says, just one of those days when everyone was off it in the final third. I'm not overly worried. I'm not overly worried either. Just to tell you the very, very truth. Unfortunately, the writing is on the wall for a few players. Nunes is basically irrelevant at this stage. Interesting.
He's better when he's on the left, all right, but he's a bit better when he's on the left. But then him and just Gakpo, they've two of them in the same position.
That was really annoying me, Kev. The amount of times Gakpo and Nunes got in each other's way was really, really annoying. I was almost getting frustrated at that point as well. And Brian, I've got to say, I think Nunes is... He is at a crossroads. He is at a crossroads of his Liverpool career, I think. And look,
we say this only banks in 30 goals for the rest of the season.
Imagine that one. They changed rules around at the time again this season. Spider are trying to have less.
I seen that, but they did that last season to be fair with the time, right? And then what they would do is that they would stop the watch anytime anything happened as a normal time, and then at the end they would calculate the 30 seconds on per player, and they say, right, great. So we're getting the actual time that we're missing in the team. I know they're saying this year that they're changing it to do the opposite when they were supposed to give everybody the fair time back. I understand. I understand that, Bri, with the trying to have less. But why less? Why not have the exact time that you're owed from the time on the pitch? So when the referee stops that watch, bing, there's a foul. Leave it stopped. Press play again when it goes on. Keep it playing until the next incident starts, and then you know what your true time is. And that's what they were doing. That's why they were looking. And they get a beep in the ear, and then he calculates it here, and then says it into his ear, "Oh, I've got 6 minutes left here. Okay, add the 3 for the substitutions. We've got 9 minutes added on time." So I don't see what was wrong with that system. I get it was extra added on time, but I mean to drop down to 5, was it 4 or 5 minutes from like a potential 8 or 9? That's brutal.
I'm just going to check something.
Yeah.
I've just had a message through. Apparently, Bournemouth have a penalty against Chelsea.
Oh.
So that could be very, very interesting. It's 0-0 at the moment, actually, in fact. But yeah, Bournemouth do have a penalty. So
we see this. I can turn it on here with a minute.
Hopefully they score this one. Unlike bloody, what was it, Cameron Archer today. You've got Brereton Diaz, who is like 100% winning percent from penalties. He seems
I don't understand that.
Penalties, and they have Cameron Archer. They decided to put Cameron Archer on the penalty.
Yeah, but he looked like he was bricking it.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, Bournemouth do have a penalty. So, it's been missed.
Is it? What's going on with missed penalties today?
Evan Nielsen has missed a penalty.
Been 6 yellow cards in the first half.
Apparently, there's been 6 yellow cards in the first half as well. So quite a feisty game, chat. Quite a feisty game, to say the very, very least. If I can get that.
Battle of the Tories, isn't it?
Exactly. Everything today, you just seem to play into. Yeah. Are you going American? Yeah, just seem to play into our hands. Lack of quality of quality of front. I thought it was the main issue, and any other day you would have peppered us. Yeah, look, it is one of those things. But look, 55 years you've waited for a win at Anfield. Look, I think you will bloody take it. You will bloody take it. Yeah, they changed again. Can't stop messing around with things. It's bloody PGM at MOL, isn't it? They always want to change things. Kev, we'll round off there. But if you had to pick a man of the match, for me, I think Ryan Gravenberch was probably our best player today.
Him and Diaz.
Yeah.
That's what I would have said, the two of them, and Ali for the save, because he made some great saves, except for, but out of that, it was a level pair with Diaz and Gravenberch, really. I mean,
if you wanted like a man of the match for Forest, one of their fullbacks. And Moreno was out. I'm really surprised Aston Villa let Moreno go on loan, and I think that's the Forest advantage that they managed to get him on loan. I think he's a really good player as well. First time in my life, I'll take that for sure. Look, of course you will. It's also been a good day for you, because I do know you do like Burnley, and I know they beat Leeds 1-0. There's been some strange results today, I've got to say. Luton winning at Millwall was one surprise result, and actually Oxford beating Stoke as well. Everyone expected Oxford United to be sort of down in the doldrums, and then they're in the top 6. Everyone was expecting Luton to struggle, and they seem to be sort of now. I think they're now top 10 now as well. But as well. Yeah, it's weird. Good evening, how Liverpool no score. Look, Calvin, we peppered them, but we just couldn't get the goal. Just could not get the goal. Yes, man of the match for the 90s vibe. Yeah, look, I've got to say, it was nice to see someone who was actually putting their foot in. And I think he was one of them as well. Did you see that QPR goal? No, I haven't, to be honest. The only games I've seen today was actually Forest, Liverpool, obviously, and Aston Villa, Everton. That's the only games I've seen. So I'll probably catch you later. I
like the fact that Sunderland and Blackburn are top of the league in the Championship.
Mm-hmm.
Be nice to see them come back up.
Yeah, it's like old Barclays vibes almost. To get
my cousin's a Blackburn Rovers fan as well, so, and I have a couple of mates that are Blackburn Rovers fans, so it's nice to see. Plus, they have a good relationship with Liverpool with looking after our youth, so it's nice to see them come back up.
Yeah, absolutely. But Kev, thank you very much for coming on. I really do appreciate it. Tell the people where they can find you.
Right, you can find me at Spider LFC pretty much everywhere that you look. In any the Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, anywhere like that. For the football side of things, for the gaming side of stuff, you'll find me at Irish Spider Guy or Spider, pretty much everywhere as well. So
yeah, Yeah, absolutely. And I do also have a list of where you can find me as well. As you say, the Dugout Football Channel on YouTube. I am very, very close to 3K. I'm hoping to get a 3K by the end of the month. That would be fantastic if we could get there as well. But yeah, follow my socials. There you go. Facebook, Douglas James Horn. Instagram, Douglas.Horn. That should say X, but I'm keeping it with Twitter. And Not_992. Twitch is also Douglas Horn LFC92, and as I said, I'm on the road to 3K. But I'll leave you with this chat. I'll leave you with this. We may have lost today, but one of the things I will say is it's one defeat. Don't get carried away on blooming social media. Honestly, I would avoid X tonight because a lot of people will be very, very unhappy. They are allowed their opinion, of course. They are allowed their opinion. But what I will say,
are they though? Are they though? If they're continuous offenders of bad opinions, they shouldn't be allowed to make opinions. Anyway. That's my belief.
FSG out and all this.
Well, FSG for the wrong reasons. Those type of fellas. I'd be 100% FSG out if they did nothing for the club. But yeah, there's no reason pointing the finger at them all the time. I won't go down that rabbit hole because I'm more balanced and level-headed when it comes to which business versus. I like if I was to sit here and show you all the figures of how much money is actually made, and that we're about to become profitable as a club for the first time since they took over properly. It's great making profits, but we're still 9 million behind breaking even per season, but we were 395 million behind. So that'll tell you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But yeah, we've lost, so we move on to Milan. I don't know if there'll be a preview for Milan. I'll try my best to get a Milan preview out. I was actually meant to promise a Champions League sort of prediction stream, but I think that's going to be put to one side because honestly, predicting 36 teams in a Champions League is ridiculously
see how the first season works out first, and then do it next year.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But look, congratulations, Nottingham Forest. First time in 55 years they've won at Anfield, and sadly as well. But we move on to Milan, move on to Bournemouth. And yeah, I will see you guys very, very soon. And also, thank you very much to Jack for his hospitality this weekend. I really do appreciate it. But thank you very much. And you never walk alone. Cheers, Reds.